So hello, everybody. It's Jen Ferguson here with Artistic Painting Studio, and I'm on location. I feel like I am the guest that just won't leave, but I'm here with Miss Terra.
Hello.
And she owns Cotton Blessings, and she's been a great host. It was not what she had signed up for by all means, but not only is she getting me 2 days in a row, okay, but I am now her guest. She even gave us an RV parking spot, okay, so that we can stay while we figure out the problem that we're enduring with our vehicles. So give me a second, guys. We're going to go share this video over in Foil Everything. And, you know, while I'm even doing that, I'm going to give my phone, okay, to Terra. I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to let her give you a little tour while I'm doing the other stuff.
So this is my studio here in downtown Buckeye with those big windows. I get to see what goes on in Buckeye. It's fantastic. So here's our little paint station over here with all of our Dixie Belle paint. Lots of inventory over here with different projects that you can choose. There's the whole rest of the studio. Some of our products that you can choose from. I try to change them out seasonally. Lots of just generic family door hangers for your home. Working on some spring stuff. Jen helped me with some foil on these little cute little flowers yesterday. Working on a couple of patriotic projects over here. And here's the rest of the studio back here with all of our retail for Dixie Belle paint and heat pressed. So there we go. It's our humble little creative space.
We even got a few people, so give me a second. I'm going to flip you guys around and thank Terra for our nice little tour. But I'm going to flip you guys now so that you can see what we're going to work on. And Terra has been with us for, what, 6 months?
Yeah.
Or about 6 months.
A little less than 6 months or so.
So she's really, I mean, who shows up to introduce themselves and, you know, maybe do a quick live or something and then stays 2 days, okay? Was not on our plan, but we're just rolling with it, okay? Well, hello, Miss Ashley. My daughter's even hanging out with us. Let's see. We got Mary Jo in the house as well. And I'm just going to show you guys what we're going to do. And we're just gonna play. So these are a couple pairs of jeans that I got from the thrift store when we were in Mesa, Arizona. And I thought these would be great to work on. I can just share how to use, I'm gonna talk about the duo, but this one is like an hour, okay? So we're not going to have time to do the duo today, but we're going to work with the Decofoil Fusible Spray. And I want to let you guys know that the label has changed, okay? For whatever reason, manufacturers like to mess with us, okay? And they have come up with a new label, but it still is our Fusible Spray Adhesive. It still works the same. So when you go on to the website, if it looks different, that's why, okay? So hello, Carol, and Sharon is also in the house. Okay, so we're going to get going on a pair of jeans. I'm going to let you guys see how quick and easy this is. And forgive me for being a little bouncy, but this table wobbles a little bit, so I'll try to be more aware of that as I'm going. Hello, Mary. So as you guys saw, Terra has the cutest little shop here in Buckeye, and it's in the historical district of Buckeye. So if you guys are traveling through, I think she's off of the 10. You guys have got to stop and come see her. And if you're anywhere local to this area, you can definitely come check out the foils here. Terra will help you with a project. She does all these super cute signs, but she's also been working on some foiled hats and other projects. So I hope you guys will get a chance to come and check everything out, okay? So I'm going to tape both of these off. And the reason why I'm taping is because we are going to use the Fusible spray. And I don't know about you, but I have a tendency to get a little bit what I call overspray, going from one side to the other. Oh, Mary, you're so close. Yes, you have to come and see her, okay? Cute little town. If you come early, her brother owns Cafe 2535, which is right next door. We had breakfast there this morning, and it was absolutely fabulous, okay? Tara said her favorite thing there was the homemade gravy, okay? So I even got the gravy to go on my burrito. Okay, bad, but it was good. So that's awesome, Mary. I hope you get a chance to come over here. Okay, so I am taping everything off because when you go to spray and you're spraying over on this, it's really easy to get what we call overspray, meaning you're going to go beyond the pocket. So just be prepared when you're using the spray that you have everything well taped off. Okay, so I'm going to tape the other pocket off because I'm going to do one and I'm going to make Tara do the other pocket, okay? And this is just a simple way to add a little bit of decor and fun to your pants. If you don't want to do your pockets, that's fine. You could always get out a stencil and do a stencil design on them as well. Hello, Darlene and Nunia. Thank you guys for joining. So I don't know if all of you have been keeping up with our story, but Dan and I were actually leaving the Phoenix area yesterday. And we were done with spring training. We were supposed to be heading to our place in Parker, Arizona. It's actually an Earp, okay, which Parker is just a little bit more well-known. We're across the river on the California side. And on our way through, the Phoenix area, the Arizona area, we figured we would stop and get to introduce ourselves to Tara and check out the area and work with her on a project. And we ended up having an issue with the coach. And it's something that we had to order a part. So we're kind of stuck here until the part comes in. So Tara didn't really sign up for this, but she's ended up with a guest that seems to not be leaving, okay? I promise her, as soon as the part comes in and we get everything set up, we will be on our way, okay? Okay, so I like to put something inside here to kind of flatten this. Yeah. Do you have like a round, just a wood round?
Okay.
That'll fit in here. I think we probably have a good 12. I'm not sure if we can do 18, but 12 would probably work. And the reason why I like to put something inside, you guys, is because when we flip these jeans over, we have all these pockets that we're dealing with and all this other stitching, which if you don't put something inside the pant, okay, so put something in here to give yourself a flat surface to work on, then you've got all that stuff underneath, okay, which is going to just make it a little bit more challenging to iron on your foils. So Oh, and this, you guys, see my great buy here? These were at $6.99 at the Mesa thrift store. That's where Dan and I went thrifting. I even got him to come and hang out for a while. And he goes, boy, that was quick and less painful than he thought it was going to be. I don't know how long he thought I was going to hang out in the thrift store, but you know, I'm normally a gal with a mission. Okay. So I normally go into a place knowing exactly what I'm looking for, what I'm trying to find, and I can get in and out pretty quick. So if you guys have any questions about the spray that we're going to use, this one might be too, yeah, these are small jeans. Not that I could probably wear them. I didn't even look for the size. I was just looking for good pockets to work on, okay? Okay, so with doing that, now we have at least a smooth surface that when we're ironing, we're not going to be dealing with everything on the front of the jean, okay? So we don't have to deal with all that stitching and pocket on that side, which it just will make it more, it'll make it flatter and just easier to work on. So anytime that you can put something inside and give yourself a flat surface, that is best. Okay, so I'm gonna demo on the first pocket, and then I'm going to make Terra do the other pocket, okay? So with the Fusible, okay, and remember, the label has changed, so when you guys go to the website, it's going to look completely different, but it will still say Fusible Spray Adhesive. Okay, you want to shake. You want to shake until you hear that rattle, okay? There's a ball in there, and you want to shake it up for at least maybe 30 to 60 seconds. Make sure that ball sounds like it's free in there and just shaking up. It's a good little exercise as my arms flap in the wind, okay? Okay, and so once you do that, you do want to hold this up, okay? You don't want to spray when you're only an inch or two away from the pocket. You want to spray when you're a good 6 to 8 inches away. And again, we don't want that overspray, so you can either take an extra piece of tape and give yourself a little bit more border, or you can even take like a paper plate or something and just cover more area, because I'll tell you, it's hard not to get some overspray. So best to just kind of protect the surface a little bit more, okay? Okay, I feel like that's blocking your view, so let's see if I can aim correctly, okay? So you can do short spurts and go back and forth, or you can just hit it back and forth, okay? And it should turn everything white. The only place that I'm probably a little thin is down that edge, and I'm going to hit that again. And that's it. Okay, so you're going to have highs and lows. It's never going to come out like perfect because we're doing this by hand, okay? So I don't know about you, but I can't spray paint to a perfect even finish, okay? And that's basically what we're trying to do, is just spray it on there, okay? So you guys will see it looks thinner here and thicker there. We should still be okay. The only place I might question again is I can kind of see the denim a little bit too much there. So I might hit that one little area, okay? And then we're good. So let's see how well Terra does here. She's probably going to show me up. Do you want me to hold?
My Winnie.
You hold Winnie? Okay.
She's such a spaz.
Have you guys met Winnie yet? Okay, we don't want Winnie to get in there, but we'll have to make sure that you get to here. Pull this to you. And then if you want, you can
That's good.
cover more of the pant if you feel like, see how I oversprayed?
Oh, yeah. I think it's good.
Okay. She's going to be better at this than me. Perfect. Just get your corner there, and that's it. Okay, guys, super, super easy. And hello, Tammy. Okay, we're going to hand Winnie back over. Winnie is a youngster. She's what?
9 months.
9 months. So she's learning, okay? And she likes to bark at everybody, no matter if she's met you or not, okay? Once you've sprayed, okay, remove your tape. You don't want to iron over your tape. So if you want, you can recycle that, or you can just have a nice big tape ball, okay? But I do recommend that you make sure that you are isolating the section you want to spray, because there's no way you could just stay on the pocket. And this big wide tape, this is like 2 inches, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, the 2-inch wide tape was great, okay? Because that will definitely keep you off that area. So now you just need to wait like 10 minutes, okay? So I'm double checking what time it is. And that is probably the one thing that I love about this particular product is we don't have to wait forever, okay? 10 minutes is the setup time. And as soon as that's ready, then we can iron our foil on. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Duo. And the reason why we couldn't do the Duo is this takes 45 to 60 minutes to set up. So it will go from, let's see, are you open here?
Go ahead.
Okay. The milky white that it looks like in the container, it will look milky white when you brush it onto your project. And that normally takes at least 45 minutes to clear. It starts to clear. So when it's going clear, you've got that window that you really want to transfer your foil. So it's not wait till it dries and, come back tomorrow. It really has a window.
Need to use it.
So you really should wait for it to clear out somewhere between 45 to 60 minutes. And then once it's clear, I would say you really want to transfer within an hour or so of that time. The longer it dries, I'm finding it just does not transfer as well. So don't let this stuff sit overnight. Now, I don't know if I've ever left the spray overnight, but it really is just a 10-minute, let it set up, and foil, and you're done.
Does it stay white?
You'll never know because you're going to iron over it. So yeah, it stays white until you do transfer your foil. But once you've transferred your foil, you'll never see that.
Okay.
I'm just going to see if there's any questions here. Let's see. Okay, I think we're good. But so if you guys have any questions about any of this so far, and on the website, if you're trying to figure out the best product to work with, what's going to work best for your project, if you just go to the website and you look up Fusible Spray, there's written instructions. If you look up the Gel Duo, again, there's full instructions on how to use it. So then you can decide which one's going to work best for your project. They both can be used with stencils. So if you tape down a stencil, you can either spray through it or you can use the Duo or the Gel Duo. I always want to call it Duo Gel, okay? I think I called it wrong for so long now it's hard to correct. But there's full instructions on how to use them. You just have to be more patient with the gel. If I'm going to freehand, then I'm definitely using the Gel Duo because I can paint flowers on, I can create a whole design on my own just by freehanding it, let it dry, and then iron over the top.
Cool.
So either one will work. And let's see. Okay, so we've still got a few minutes. So let's figure out what foil we're going to put on the jeans. Okay, let me put those out of the way. This is my goodie pile that I brought. I don't know what size these are. I could never find sizes on half the jeans when I was looking, so I kind of gave up. Yeah, normally it's inside, but I'm not finding them. I don't think they're big enough for me to wear. So it's probably not going to matter what I put on these, okay? Okay, so we have our whole snake collection. Maybe we'll look at that.
Size 226. So no 2.
Size 2. Okay, well, we know I'm not fitting in those. Well, there must be a skinny little girl out there somewhere.
There's a teenager somewhere.
Okay, so, there's more. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of the animal prints, and I think we're going to go for something out of one of those collections.
This one's fun. It's like
Those are all the snake prints, and this one is called On the Wild Side. So it's a collection of, it's not all, but some of the animal prints. And I think there's maybe 5 in here. So it has, let me go this way. That one's Luna Leopard, Dara Leopard. We're going to give myself a test here. We got Blue Cheetah, and I think this is called Good Vibrations, if I'm correct. We'll see. And then definitely Copper Cheetah. So I'm thinking just to have some pop, I like the silver. Maybe we'll do Good Vibrations.
that's a good one.
I have used Luna Leopard so many times. I'm sure everybody would like to see me do a different foil. Okay, so we're going to pull out Good Vibrations and use that one. And then let's see how neatly I can put these back on here. Oh, no problem, Wendy. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, let's put our little sticker back on so I don't destroy these. And we're getting there time-wise. Okay, so I'm going to just show you guys what's in the snake one, because we still have like 4 minutes that we should possibly wait. And be careful taking these stickers off. Even though there are removable stickers, sometimes they get stuck better than they should, okay? Okay, so this one is called Maverick, and we have seen so many great projects. I know that one of our customers, I don't know if Linda's hanging out on here or not today, but she has done some hats with us that are beautiful, the big wide brim hats. This one is
that translucent?
It is semi-translucent. It's not Serpico, Shiva snake. Oh, I'm going to be really bad on some of these. I don't really know all the names, okay? I was doing good there. This one, oh my gosh, no, I'm having a brain fart over here. I know, Tanya, I love my animal prints. Okay, so this one is completely transparent. This is the Raven Snake in pink, and then there should be Raven Snake in purple. But these are always going to look best on a light surface, not on a colored. Okay, so when you put it over something light, the color is going to pop. So I'm going to just use the plate so I can show you how gorgeous the colors really are. But if you put this over something dark like the denim, it totally gets lost. So anytime you've got a transparent or a semi-transparent, just hold them over stuff to figure out what would be the best color to put them on. So that was the pink Raven Snake. And then I think it's called Miss Hiss. We'll see. I know this one is Serpico Snake because I use it way too much, okay? Okay, so let's see. Hello, Lynn. No problem. We're coming live at different locations and definitely different times than usual. And I didn't even think I was going to be able to sit here and do a live with Terra, but, you know,
Here we are.
I stayed an extra day.
I like friends to stay.
I keep telling her I'm just the company that won't leave, okay? I came for a short visit, and she now has me as a guest sitting in her parking lot. Okay, so let's get the little mini press heated up. Okay, so Terra has a little mini press like mine, but she's got the red pink color. I think mine's teal.
Oh, yeah. We have a
Yeah, they got all kinds of cute colors. But with the mini press, you can go all the way to high heat. And I'm going to wait for this to heat up completely. And the other thing is if you don't have a mini press, don't worry. You still can do this with your regular iron. And I do suggest with an iron, you don't go any higher than cotton setting. Or actually, I think it's linen. It's a medium heat. So whatever, if you've got like, off to high, go in the middle, okay? And not everybody's iron says medium, but you don't want to go too hot. So I want to say 325 to 350 is probably the hottest you want it to be. And I always keep the iron moving at all times. Okay. So don't just come and set your iron down and just set it there. Make sure you're constantly moving. No matter if you're using the mini press or the iron, don't let it just sit. The other thing you can do is once you feel like you've waited your adequate amount of time and you're going to put your foil over the area. Okay. And I made sure that we have our wood board on that side, okay, to start with, so that I had something smooth here to work on. If you're not sure how hot your mini press gets or your iron gets, you can always put parchment paper over the top, and that will protect your foils so that you don't scorch them, okay? Darlene says, I'm hanging around like the pesky mother-in-law. Well, not yet. My daughter-in-law was probably happy to see me go. Okay. I spent enough time around them this past week or so. Okay. So I'm going to grab the little mini press. It has, definitely, beeped. So I know it is hot enough. Okay. It's all the way up to hot. And as you can see, I'm moving it. I'm trying to make sure that I am getting everything, every part of the pocket. And right where it gets up to the stitching, you kind of have to get right up underneath those areas, okay? And this mini press almost feels like it gets hotter than mine because I feel like it's wanting to stick. So definitely get out your parchment paper. It's just a good way to protect the foil, make sure it doesn't scorch anything. It just kind of melts onto your iron if you get it too hot. But I'm just kind of moving fast.
Teflon.
Oh, let's try Teflon. Teflon is for your heat press. So see how that's making that move so much better now? But her mini press might get hotter than mine. Maybe mine's just defective, okay? Because I've always used mine at high heat, but I felt like it was just wanting to stick. But just keep ironing, okay? You can't over iron, but you can sure under iron, okay? And then make sure you're getting right up against all that stitching. And your stitching area, when you're on top of all the stitching, is just going to push you up higher. So just make sure that you have all those areas done, okay? And then once you think you've hit everything, you're going to let it sit until it completely cools off. So when you do a foil with a heat transfer, it's called a cool release, which means if you try to pull it off now, it probably won't work, okay? I know you have scissors too. I'm going to cut this. So I'm going to leave my pocket, and that way we'll reposition the wood in here and give Terra a nice smooth area to work on, and make sure that you guys can see what she's doing. I can always move the camera if you want to move that closer to you. Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay. So let's make sure that I'm putting this on the exact same way I did over there, okay? We don't want to have to turn the pattern upside down or do something weird, okay? I'm just making sure it's covering, okay? And it will start to stick a little bit, so it's going to kind of like tack to it. That way you can keep it in position. And then definitely going to suggest, there you go. Let's move the cord your way.
Do you think with the Teflon you have to add more pressure to it, maybe? The Teflon's a lot thicker than the...
Freeze now. Oh, okay, we're just behind. I'm like, are you doing something there? No, we're just behind. Mickey, yes, I'll do a quick review. So we are working on a pair of jeans, doing a foil transfer, and we're using our Fusible Spray Adhesive, which we have the Fusible Spray, the Gel Duo, and also the Heat Transfer Vinyl Adhesive all work for fabric application. And if you are doing something that's going to go in the washer, then you definitely want to use one of the fabric adhesives, and make sure you're also using a fabric-friendly foil. So on the website, each foil will tell you if it's fabric friendly or not. This one's mine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm making sure I'm not spilling her water, okay? So she's using the Teflon. And I want you to go ahead and go on here directly just because I want you to feel it.
Oh, yeah.
See how it's feeling like it's sticking? So I was having to really kind of move it with a light touch there. And it really has a feeling like it's wants to almost scorch it. But I think hers might get a little hotter than mine. Like I said, I think I got the defective little mini press, okay? Oh, Sheila says she placed her first order yesterday. Excited. Oh, how awesome. And then, Tara, I don't think you were in here when, let's see, I'm scrolling back. Mary Sharkey said she's off the 10 and she needs to get to that side of town and meet you. So
awesome.
Hopefully she's going to come by and pay you a visit and come check things out. So we probably should be good. So what you can do is if you're just wanting to make sure, okay, is it like stuck? Okay, you can kind of give it a little tug, okay, and just make sure that you're like adhered, and it looks like we've got everything. So we're just going to let them cool off. See how that one's so much cooler?
So much cooler, yeah.
Okay, but yeah, it's been sitting there for now a couple of minutes. But a Teflon sheet will work from your heat press, or if you've got parchment paper, that will work as well. Yeah, Mary says just south of Chandler.
Oh, okay. We're on the opposite side.
Okay.
It's for lunch.
Well, you know, there's some really good restaurants. I've already given a plug for Cafe 2523.
2535.
2535. Okay, I had it right earlier, and then, of course, I screwed that one up. But it's right next door, so you can always come get a bite. Check out the historical area,
Yeah.
right? So it's they're downtown. Okay, so like I said, make sure you're letting all that heat out of there, and that it feels like it's like back to room temperature. So it's still a little bit warmer.
Oh yeah, inside it's a little warm. Oh, right there, yeah, I can feel it.
So I try to like let it cool off completely. I don't suggest putting it in the refrigerator or the freezer or doing anything to cool it off fast, okay? Just let it cool off, and, you know, if you have to, you know, let the heat out of the pocket, you know, fan it around a little bit. It just doesn't take that long. I mean,
no.
don't be in too big of a hurry, okay? And then once you feel like you are cooled off, then you're going to start doing a little peel and reveal and sneak peek here, okay? Now I have one little area that I know it didn't adhere really well, but that's all around the stitching, and I can see that it's still on the carrier sheet, but I'm not going to worry too much about that, not unless I've got a big section that doesn't transfer well. Oh my gosh, this is still my favorite part, okay? Okay, so we didn't get a great transfer there on that corner, so I can maybe, okay, and I'm not getting a great transfer here. So those are my two sections that I didn't get very well, but I'm going to check and peek, because as long as I let this get right back into place, I can put it back on. Okay, again, my other corner down here, okay, where all my stitching is, it didn't work as great. Okay, so we'll move the the wood back under that section. And then we're just going to basically hit those areas again. And just try and, well, maybe just do it with this. It just feels so much better over the Teflon, okay? And I use pressure. So when I'm doing this, I don't just like let it glide over the top. I'm actually pushing because I want to basically melt that foil to that surface. So at least you guys know that if by chance you have ironed once and you had a couple of spots that just didn't take as well, you can either live with that and go for a little bit of a distressed look, which I think is super cool. Or if you want to try and put the foil back down and iron once again, like I am, then do that as well, okay? So it really is a personal preference on what you're going for, what you like. And let's see how we're doing here. Dawn, this one is called Good Vibrations, I do believe, okay? I'm going to go check really quick because I'm guessing, but I think I'm guessing pretty good, okay? And yes, it is called Good Vibrations, so I was right. Okay, no, I'm not always right. Let's see, let's just move the camera that way a little bit so we can keep everything in frame. Hello, Paige. She says she can't wait to try it on a jean jacket. Oh, that'd be awesome. Okay, so for anybody that's new to doing foils on fabric, whether a pair of jeans, a jean jacket, whatever, do me a favor, okay? Go grab yourself a pair of jeans, okay, from the thrift store, somewhere between like probably $3 to $9 as usual, okay? This one was a little bit higher end, okay, $9, woo. But they were Hudson, okay, so, you know, it had a brand name.
They have a cute little doohickey.
Yeah, because they're Hudson jeans, so, yeah, they were probably more expensive, but a $9 or like this pair that we're working on was $6. That is a great investment to make sure that you understand the process, you see how it's working, how the foils transfer, and you're just going to be, everything's just going to go way better if you do at least one sample, okay? Tara's shaking her head going, yeah, I just don't ever want somebody to take their $200 jeans and let that be your first try, because what happens if something does go wrong? I want you guys to understand how things work, how hot you have to have, you know, your iron, doing the pressing, you know, if you're using an iron or a Cricut. But just make sure that you are familiar with the project, familiar with whatever product you're using, so you've tested them. And that way, when you get to your actual jean jacket or whatever you want to work on, you'll have that confidence and just know that it's going to be okay. Okay, so let's see what we got going here. Okay, Tara, I think we're ready for you to do your peel and reveal. This is like the funnest part, okay? Hers is going to come out perfect the first time. Watch. Ooh, yeah. So you're always going to probably have a little bit of when it's right down in where that stitching is. And that's the part I just don't worry about, because sometimes even if you try to go iron again, you're just not going to get really anything in those areas. It's just a challenge. Okay, so one thing I'm going to tell Tara before she keeps going. Okay, if you're happy with this, which I'm very happy with that side, I would put this back, okay, and then come from the other way, just in case you decide you want to put it back down and iron again. Okay, so we know that so far Tara is better at ironing than I am, okay? So that was the only place, but go ahead and peek on this corner too. And like I said, it is hard when you are trying to get down to where it's high here and then okay, so
I think that whole section right there.
Yep, so
it's kind of lower.
Yeah, it's the lower part of the jean because you get kicked up from the stitching and then getting right down in there, and so it's like I want to iron really well right up against that. But always just pull back a little bit at a time and make sure. Okay, I think our plumber needs you.
Fun times.
We got everybody here, okay?
The stucco guy.
She's got all kinds of things happening. She's got everybody coming over here today. She's stuck with me and Winnie. So yeah, I like using the tip or even the side. Oh, you just had it
turn it
off.
off.
There. Yep, I do it all the time. But even maybe line it up against the side there. There you go, and try to get in. But it is the trickier part of the pocket. And like I said, you can either live with a little bit of distress or try to go back and get some more application. So it's not a one and done always, but Terra did better than I did, okay?
Oh, I can kind of see it where it went in right there.
And yeah, I mean, it's stuck, so we'll just let that one cool.
Let's see if it...
And we'll go back to this one again. And we'll see how... Okay, so it's just not wanting to take there. And that's okay. If by chance maybe I didn't spray well enough in that section.
Oh, it still looks cool.
But I'm going to live with that, okay? So not perfect. But nobody but me knows if it was meant to be that way or not, okay? So we're just going to have a little bit more of a distress. The jean is going to show down in here and on that corner. I think that still looks absolutely fabulous, okay? It definitely gives you more texture to the surface, okay? So the fabric's not going to be as thin as it was. So you definitely have a little bit more texture, but I feel with like the first wash or two, they even soften up a little bit more. The other thing is care. You want to wash cold water inside out on delicate cycle, if you remember any of that. The biggest thing is don't put it in the dryer, okay? Now, if you do everything wrong, like, you know, Dan grabs my laundry and is helping me out, and he's making, you know, doing a load for us. And of course, he's not going to turn anything inside out. Nope. He's not going to use delicate. He's probably going to throw my clothes in the dryer. It will most likely will be fine in the end. I've had shirts that have gone through. He's really good about not putting my jeans in because I threatened him he'll have to buy me new jeans because I won't fit if he puts my jeans in the dryer, okay? I'm like, dude, there's a reason we let those air dry, okay? Darlene says she likes the distressed look. So yeah, I mean, it is a personal thing. There are some people that, you know, get hung up on every little detail. So let's say that I really wanted to try to make this perfect. I could come back with some gel duo and I could brush that in these spots that didn't take as well. Let that sit for maybe 45 to 60 minutes. Okay. And try again. I mean, and it's like a little puzzle. Okay. You would just want to keep your sheet and line it up, which is not too difficult, okay? It's not like it has to be perfect, but that will line up pretty well, and you could try again. Now, me, I like distress, so I'm good. Thank you, Gina. It does come out, I want to say, not as shiny as it is on the carrier sheet. So it definitely will come out a little bit lower sheen, which I think is good on clothing, that it's not like, you know, in your face, super, super bright. But let's see how you feel. Oh, you still need this.
So, yeah, I feel like it's still a little warm right there.
Yeah, it definitely is. Okay, so we're going to do my quick dry, or not quick dry, but cool off, the cool off method here. Let it just, get that hot air out of there. And that's mainly all you have to do is when I'm doing this, is just trying to release some of the heat and let it cool off a little bit more. But again, we'll probably accept wherever it looks on that one as well. But okay, guys, you're pretty quiet today. I don't have a lot of questions. So who else is in Arizona, and possibly close to the Phoenix area who's on here. You guys got to make sure that you come and check out Cotton Blessings in Buckeye. And it's a cute community, and we got to stay here a little longer than anticipated. So we're testing out all the different restaurants for you, okay? I'm not sure you're going to get the privilege of the personal RV parking that we did, but
With Hobo Joe.
oh yeah, we got Hobo Joe looking over the RV.
He's watching over you, right?
So if you haven't seen my story today, go check it out, okay? Because Hobo Joe's on there. When she told us about Hobo Joe, when I turned the corner, I went, oh, okay.
I told you it was big.
Is he 30 feet or 20 something?
Oh,
He's
close
tall.
to 30.
He's tall.
He's taller than the building. So.
Yes, he's big. So just look out for Hobo Joe and you'll find her place, okay? Or actually, when you see the cafe 2535,
yeah.
okay, right when you see that sign, park, okay? I missed it the first time.
Right there.
Okay, let's give it a try. Let's see what we got. Oh, Sandy just says she can't wait for me to come to the East Coast. We will eventually be there, okay? We're getting there slower than we anticipated, but we will get there. Oh, I think you did better all around. Even her repair looks better than mine. Okay, she wins. Awesome. Look at that. Okay, she definitely wins, okay? Her spring was better than mine.
It's definitely lower sheen.
Yeah, it definitely takes it down to, I want to say, a high satin.
Oh, that's a good, yeah.
I mean, it's definitely not the gloss that you'll see on the carrier sheet, which is, like I said, I think that's a great thing because it just doesn't like get too bright and shiny. Some people say they don't want to bring attention to their derriere. I think it's just a cute addition. So if you don't want to do pockets, okay, you can always do your belt loops. You could come in and maybe even do your little pocket in front, or just grab a cute little stencil and add something to the legs.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So I love doing the bottom of the legs, or if I figure I'm one who loves to roll her jeans up. So I'll even roll my jeans up first if that's where I'm going to wear them most of the time at that length. Then I'll even stencil this part. And that way when you roll them up, they're just got a little extra bling and they're pretty cute. So let's see. Sandy says it hasn't warmed up yet, so take your time. Oh yeah, that's why we're not going to Colorado, is because you guys haven't warmed up yet, okay? We got to make our way completely across. Okay, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up. I hope that this has been great information for you. And I'm going to pull us back up here. Get over here, Tara. We're going to do at least both of us here on screen. Don't sit all the way over there. We won't get you on here, okay? So, again, make sure that you come by. You get to meet Tara and Winnie, right?
Winnie.
Winnie. Winnie's always here, okay? She'll bark at you a little bit, but she just wants to lick your legs, so don't worry, okay? Anything else they should know about coming over?
Come on in.
Okay. Check out our website. Check out our hours. I think you're open, what, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah.
Okay. 4 days a week. She has great hours. I think it's 11 to 4.
11 to 4.
But she does private parties and or workshops, or you can come in here, just show up and do a project. She showed you all the cute. Can I grab one of these? Sure. Let's grab. So Dan came in earlier today and he says we need this at the river. Okay. What's it say here? Well, let's get salty, okay, with a margarita. Okay, he calls our river place Margaritaville, okay? So I might have to change the sign a little bit, but you can come in and just sit down and make one of these. You can do it with paint. You can add foil. She's got all kinds of great things here to work on. So thank you guys for hanging out. We totally appreciate that today. And if you have any questions, just write them in the comments and I'll get back with you. So thanks, guys.